Welcome everybody to the Niners Faithful Radio, or I guess you can call it the pre-halftime show. Right now, the Niners are down. Yeah, we're losing, and it is not looking good in any sort of way. Um, Down 10-0 right now. It's the first sort of sustained. Well, I guess we had that first drive we did get some sustain off of it, but I don't know if they didn't come out to play. Maybe it's Minnesota and Cleveland in the same time zone. Not sure. Maybe we just don't like this time zone. But whatever it is, man, it has not looked good from the get. I mean, we had straight from the get go, we had a good drive going, and then we had the fumble by Christian McCaffrey, and then they just ran it down to us. I tried telling people on our Friday show that even though the Vikings are 2-4, they are not as bad. Let's see, we got how's it going, John? Thank you very much. Um, So the Vikings are 2-4, but they're not as bad as their record shows. Yes, their defense hasn't been great, but when the offense has given up 9 fumbles in those games, it's put their defense in some terrible positions. Um, could Gold come home for one more year? I mean, I don't think we necessarily are going to give up on Moody yet, but I definitely think um, that is starting to creep in. Um, the look that Moody had on his face after missing that field goal last week, I thought he was on the verge of crying to, whatever, kind of a thing. It did look, he looked that emotionally broken. And then after this field goal, he just looked lost. Like he had not a clue in the world for what was going on. So I don't know. I don't know if they want to pay Robbie Gold because I believe his veteran minimum would be like $4 million or something right now with all the years that he's accumulated right now. So, but I think you give Moody if Moody doesn't play good this week, and then depending on what goes on next week into Cleveland, I think maybe it's time to make some phone calls come, the bye week. See what's going on with that. Sorry. So we are back from commercial. I'm not sure how far. I'm actually on a halfway decent stream. I'm not as far behind as I usually am right now. So it looks like they're just coming back from commercial, and it looks like the Niners are walking to the line right now. All right. So we got 3rd and inches. Did we just call it another timeout? So apparently Kyle or someone did not like what they saw. On 3rd and inches, why are we not having Jordan Mason in the game? We know that CMC is definitely having some injury issues. Whether or not he feels 100% to be determined. We can always argue over how that is, but excuse me. For right now, if it's a 3rd and less than a yard, we need someone like Jordan Mason in there. And speaking of running backs, the one play that Elijah Mitchell got in there, he did absolutely nothing. At this point, why is Elijah there? What is it that we are keeping him on this team for any reason? Again, right now, Jordan Mason is much more productive. I know there's not much more behind him besides TDP, but you can see. All right, here we go again. Niners lined up, I formation. CMC got the ball, and he gets about 8 yards into about the 17-yard line. So a nice run up the middle by Christian McCaffrey. All right, let's see what they can do. I say that, and CMC gets like an 8-yard play. But I still think Jordan Mason on your typical short yardage play is going to be the better option for getting that 1 yard or so. And come, where are we going? Mitchell had like 3 guys in the backfield. Yeah, they blew it up pretty quickly, but I still don't. He hasn't done much since anytime he's been in this year. All right, Brock is back. Brock is passing. Who was that? Dwelly. I almost thought it was just. Sorry, I saw a skinny white guy. I almost thought it was CMC, but that was a nice pass. He also, I think, there was Kittle on the outside. He had open too with that one. Moody slipped. Did he slip? Are you talking about the kick that he made that he missed, or from the his pregame kicks where he was slipping. And by the way, Steve-O, thank you for showing up, brother. See, and Brock's 11 of 13, 122 yards. The offense hasn't been terrible. It's been stopped. Well, here's the thing. If we go down here, we get into the fourth down. Let's see. It's first and goal. Do we go for it? I say we do. Screw it at this point. I'm a lot more of an aggressive coach if I coached offense. I go for stuff like that. So we got first and goal. There's a minute left and a half. They're pulling up the line now. Let's see what we got. We got Jennings in motion. He is set. Hand off the CMC's going up the middle. Gets down to about the 2.5 yard line or so. And we got BC, the Mean Supreme, showing up. Thank you, brother. All right, so we got minute 3 left. Like I said, it looks like about 2.5, 3 yard line. Miss Teresa, how's it doing, girl? Thank you for showing up as always. That was a nice block by Ray Ray. We can. We get this touchdown, hold them to whatever comes up, and then we get the ball to start the second half. We're good. It's just right back in this game. Wonder if we're going to do some sort of a play action here. All right, coming up to the line. CMC in the backfield. No motion. Hand off to CMC up the middle, and he scores the touchdown. Nicely done, boys. Way to get back into this game. I had a soundboard. I'd sound the horns. Y'all know what that sounds like. Don't make me do that again. It's a good drive. Good comeback drive to establish something going into the half. Yep. CMC 16 straight. Yet another bet that I'm going to get some money back on. All right. Let's go, Moody. Right down the middle. Well, Teresa, I'm not going to say that he sucks, but there's something going on right now. If there's ever a position to where something can get in your head, it's the kicker position. So I'm not willing to necessarily give up on him quite yet, but as I had mentioned earlier when we first went on the air, say he misses a few more this week, goes on next week against the Bengals, and he's still struggling, then I think we need to have probably a kicker competition come the bye week. And of course, Brian Culp is the leader of the Moody Cult, or the Moody Cult. Never realized Culp and Cult sound awful alike. What you got going on there, Brian? All right. All right, so we have about a minute left. More than likely, the Vikings will get the ball to 25. They're probably going to go to a quick and try and get something on the board before halftime. So how's everybody doing tonight? Let's see. TJ Wilkes is getting out coached. Something I don't necessarily even think it says Wilkes gotten out coached. And thank you, TJ Rodder, for showing up. He's put the guys in position. How many missed tackles did we see on that screenplay to Akers that got down to like the 3 yard line? Granted, it was called back, but when you have Javon Kinlaw making the tackle 15 yards downfield because literally everybody else missed the tackle, what the hell? How many other missed tackles have we seen so far tonight? It has been a terrible night for tackling for this defense. Moody will bounce back. We definitely got to keep the hope up with that, man. That is definitely the one thing with kickers. You know, they go up. There's ups and downs harder than anything else when it comes to kickers. Just enjoying the game. Yeah, man. Best thing to do. Do great here. Yep. How's it going, John? True. Halftime adjustments. Yeah. We'll see what they come up. I mean, when you think about it, they don't need to change much. A couple of those tackles that they make, the fumble that's not fumbled, we're probably up, what, 17-7? Give them that one touchdown kind of a thing. So, I mean, it's more of not necessarily adjustments, but just cleaning up the process. Say, TJ, we're busting run D is fine, but they're killing us in the air. Again, it's been a little of both. You had Addison on Greenlaw, which is a huge mismatch on that one. Like whatever their play call is or their play design was on that one, hats off to him. You having him on Dre Greenlaw, as much as Dre Greenlaw is a really good pass coverage linebacker, at a certain point, some of these guys just can't cover wide receivers. Now, had that been Fred, maybe we have a little bit of a better chance with that. But Greenlaw, not so much as Fred. That's the one thing where he's a little bit lower than Fred is when it comes to his coverage ability. All right, so they are bringing the ball back out to the 25. Now they're showing how we built this roster. My brother texting me. All right. Shotgun, they're going back, tossing. Yep, they're keeping up. Clock keeps running. They got 50 seconds right now. So they probably need to get to about the 35 or so yard line for an honest or legitimate shot at a field goal. And there's Hawkinson again. And again, we are not tackling, or we're just creating the Greenlaw. What the fuck was that little knee right there, buddy? All right, I'm gonna get on Greenlaw for that. That was kind of bullshit. That little knee that he just dropped at the end of that play to on Hawkinson, shit's unneeded. That'll get flags called. Let's see, what is Hawkinson at right now? That's another one I said. I tried telling people Hawkinson was gonna have a good day because he is their top receiving target right now, and he's in the top 5 when it comes to tight ends in the league. Damn good tight end. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed. Greenlaw, that shit was a little unnecessary. My fish tank looks a lot greener than it usually is right now. That's just the light. All right, Curtis back in shotgun. One in the backfield, offset. There you go, Greenlaw. That's much better. No more than after shit. Just walk away. They're down to 17 seconds. They're clocking it now, so it'll be 2nd and 6. I know we all love Greenlaw, but this shit's getting a little bit too much for my taste. I have to keep an eye on that, see if he can really ring it in a little bit, because it's just. Greenlaw caught him right across the top of the head with his arm with that one. That'll definitely give you a little, make you see a few little stars. All right, we are in shotgun again. One offset to the right. He's dropping back. We've got a huge blitz coming. He goes deep, and it is picked. What? I thought he had another pick. Man. Ooh. Almost wish he just went for the tackle there. They were so far downfield, they would not have made it. He should have just gone for the tackle in that spot, and the half is over. Man. They missed the field goal, though. So I disagree with Ward going for the pick there. Just go for the tackle in that spot. You're 20 yards downfield. Even if he catches it, it's going to take them, what, the full 5 seconds for some of those big guys to run down, get set. You don't get another play on that one. Just go for the tackle. That's sorry. I mean, I know Ward, any other spot, yeah, but you've got to know the time and distance and be situational awareness right there. You've got to just make that tackle. Man, that's all I can say is situational awareness on that, and you should have just tackled him. So we're obviously just going to kneel it. That's pretty much all we're going to do after that. That was a damn good play. All right, and so there we are. It is now halftime, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to hit some halftime music, set up a few things, and then we will be right back to actually start the halftime show. Be right back, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as I find it. Oh, there it is. All right, so welcome everybody. This is the Niner Faithful Radio halftime report. This is me, Jason. As always, that we are here. Let's see, Teresa jumping in early. If we can't beat the Vikings, how are we going to beat the Eagles? This better be corrected at halftime. Well, I'm going to tell you this. Like I have been saying to people all week, these Vikings are much, much better than their record is. Yes, they are 2-4, but they've had some of the most unlucky fumbles, and I think it was a pick six by one of by Cousins at one point. They're not as bad as everybody thinks that they are. Are they a good team? No. But are they much better again than what their actual record is? Yes, they've had it, and that slides also into their defense because to their defense because they've been put in some bad spots to where the other offensive have been able to score. So again, they're not as bad as their record entails. But they've also won a lot of close games. You know, they've lost pretty much every game that they've had so far this year has been less than 8 points. So they've been in every game. So we're getting tested again. But so anyways, right now it is 16-7 as they missed the field goal to end or after that Addison touchdown. So let's pull up the stats of what we've got right now. Let me make it a little bit bigger. So again, right now we have Brock Purdy, who is 11 of 13 for 122 yards, averaging 9.4 and a 105.8 rating. Again, it's not bad. Brock is at a very efficient half so far. So far, so good when it comes to him. CMC, Roberto Hastings, Ward versus Addison. If you missed my earlier rant, Berto, about that one, I do have a problem with that one because had Ward just tackled him instead of going for the pick, situationally, there was no way they were getting off another another play after that. There were 7 seconds. Those guys were a good 20-ish yards down the field. Those big guys are not going to be able to run down the field, get set up. And if you do spike the ball, you're going to have maybe 1 second. So you just go to that protect the end zone kind of thing. Half is over. And so they don't go that. So I know Ward is definitely always going to go for those picks. But sometimes you got to be situationally aware of what's going on in the game. And then you get that, and then we're done. The half is over right then and there. Nothing else happens. But thank you as always for showing up, Berto. So Christian McCaffrey, he's 11 carries, 35 yards, 3.2. Not the greatest average, but he does have the 1 touchdown. So that is now 16 games in a row. I believe that's an NFL record. So we'll see how that. But again, good job by McCaffrey on that one. He had a tough 3rd and 1, I believe it was. He got about 8 yards prior to the touchdown. So it was a very good drive for both McCaffrey and Purdy, who found Ayuk twice, 2, 3 times for that. So again, really good way to end the half for the offense. Brock had those one nice run. We got like 12 yards or so in that one. Nice to see him. He's not a burner. He's not going to beat anybody, like Lamar or Josh Allen or any of those other running quarterbacks who can outrun anybody. He's not. But when he does those little runouts, those little scrambles like that, that's where he's effective. Don't do too much. Just do what you can do. Stay in your lane kind of thing. And that's what he does for the most part. Elijah Mitchell, 1 carry for -1 yard. I know Steve Oates said earlier in the chat that because I was getting on Elijah about he was met in the backfield, and there's a very good point with that. Yes, he was met in the backfield, had pretty much no chance. But when has Elijah actually done anything so far during this offseason? As far as I can remember, or excuse me, this season, nothing. He has done nothing. At this point, why are we not playing Jordan Mason more? We have Jordan Mason who's getting 7 to 8 yards a carry almost for his career at this point. He needs to be getting the ball more than Mitchell does. We need someone who is a much more of a pounder. There's a reason why he's been called a closer. We need more Jordan Mason over Elijah Mitchell, and that releases some of the pressure off of CMC, who by the way is looking good tonight. Doesn't seem to be showing any ill effects from any of the the oblique injury that he had. Receiving. BA's having a good game, 5 catches, 57 yards. Juwan Jennings, 3 for 37. Both of them right now are having exceptional games. Juwan's is showing up well, coming in, with BA shooting up the number 1 and now him being the number 2. He's playing just exactly how you watch your number 2 receiver play. He's taking off those pressure. He's making big catches, especially on 3rd down. So it's really good to see with him. Kittle, I'm surprised we haven't seen more of Kittle. They don't have the greatest secondary per se, or the fastest, but they are a little weaker back then. So get Kittle the ball. It's National Tight End Day Part 2. You have TJ Hawkinson, who is showing up everybody how good tight ends can be right now. Let's see, what does Hawkinson have? He's got 6 catches for 66 yards. He is just tearing this defense to pieces. And again, watch the show. I said Hawkinson was going to be something that was not someone to be fucked with in this game. He's a damn good tight end. And there's a reason why this offense has gotten much better with him since they made that trade last year with the Lions for him. Excuse me. And then we also have Ross Dwelly with his 1 catch. So it was a pretty good screen catch that he caught from I actually thought it was Christian McCaffrey at first because I saw a shorterish, it looked like a shorter white guy coming down the middle. So I really thought that was a screen to McCaffrey at first, but was wrong. Fumbles, obviously Christian McCaffrey has the 1 fumble right now, which probably put us behind the 8 ball straight from the get with that one. If anybody didn't notice that afterwards, he went to wearing gloves. So as soon as he went back to the sideline, he grabbed gloves, put them on, and I'm good with that. If that's what he needs to do to, stop from fumbling, good on you. Let's do it. Dre Greenlaw. Now I'm going to get into this. That last tackle that he had on TJ Hawkinson, he got up, and then he dropped a little bit of a knee onto Hawkinson. That was unfucking necessary. And my biggest issue with that is maybe he said something. Maybe he's getting a little violent. Okay, I get all that. Your tempers run high. What happens to every single person who throws the blow second in the NFL? It's never the guy that does anything first. It's always the guy that retaliates. And while we want Dre Greenlaw to be out there, he is sort of the enforcer, if you will, on the defense. We want him to be that. I want those hard tackles from Dre Greenlaw. I want him to punish people. Doing that will cost games. That's the kind of shit that'll get you kicked out of a game. Put a penalty, would have been, automatic ejection probably, any of those kind of things. Greenlaw, we don't need that shit, man. Like I said, that you can play tough and not do all that extra stuff, man. Come on, you're smarter than that. And then he did get burnt on the 1 play, but I mean that's Addison. And the difference between Greenlaw and Fred is that had that been Fred covering Addison, I think there's a better chance that ball is incomplete rather than Greenlaw. Greenlaw is only like that much less better of a coverage linebacker by Fred. But when you're going up against speed receivers like that with those kind of really good wide receivers, that's when it's going to show. So good play call and good play design by the Vikings on that one to get Greenlaw on him. But like I said, had Fred been on him, not sure what the call is or anything like that, but definitely would have been Anyways, and so just quick look at their side. You got Kirk Cousins, who's 15 of 20, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, the 1 pick. Again, I really wish Ward had just gone for the tackle on that one. Rushing the ball, they're just tearing us up right now. So you got Madison, between Madison and Akers, they've got 58 yards, just destroying it. They're doing a really good job. A lot of it's mostly up the middle and everything. Receiving, it's Addison with his 4 catches and his both the touchdowns, plus Hawkinson getting them down there. Plus let's not also forget that we had the missed field goal by Moody. And I'm not going to say that we need to necessarily give up on Moody right now. Moody misses one more kick. I don't know. Again, like I said, I think you give him the rest of this game and then the Bengals game. If something is not fixed by the end of the Bengals game to where you can see that he's got, his mentally he's back in it, he's playing, then that's when, going into the bye week, whether it's we give Zane Gonzalez a call, where I know everybody's screaming for Robbie Gould right now. I think those are all valuable or valid options at this point. I think we need to have something like a kicking competition or something during that bye week coming up. Hey, Berto. Hey, Jason. Yes, I'm tired of seeing it. Word, Roberto. I mean, I think pretty much everybody is saying the exact same thing, no matter what stream that I've been watching it on and this and that. Everybody is saying the same thing. Why are we not seeing more of Jordan Mason? Especially, my biggest question is, why are we seeing Elijah Mitchell more than Jordan Mason? I don't think anybody right now, for the most part, would take Elijah Mitchell over Jordan Mason. But for some reason, Shanahan is. There's something there that the rest of us are not seeing, because even Jordan needs to get better pass blocking. Yes, he does. But at the same time, Mitchell does absolutely nothing when he is in. At the very least, if you give Jordan Mason the ball, you're going to get 5 yards carry. I will take that over the nothingness that we are getting from Elijah Mitchell right now. So that's my take on that, ladies and gentlemen. That is the halftime show. It looks like they'll be starting here shortly. Thank you very, very much for everybody who showed up. For the people who were in here, we got John LaJoy and let's see, Brian Colt. Please also make sure to go to their YouTube channels and give them a like, sub, all that kind of good stuff with them. And then also afterwards for our for Niner Faithful Radio, Jamie will be on sometime after the game to go over the post-game show. And then in about 21 and a half hours, you'll probably see me and TJ on as we talk about what's going to go on between now and the end of the game. And for that, that's all, everybody. Thank you very much. Bang, bang, none again. Let's go.